Hello, everyone. Good night for everyone from Brazil, and good morning for every kind of people from Turkmenistan. So first of all, I would like to thank all of you that are here on YouTube and also here in Zoom. I would like to introduce some informations about this webinar and about the organizations that are promoted this series of 3 webinars. So first of all, I would like to thank ABES. ABES is a Brazilian Association of Environmental and Sanitary Engineering in Brazil. Is the biggest association in this sanitation sector, and all kind of activities related to sanitation like webinars, congress, courses, and discuss about public policies in sanitations. The ABES are very involved in this question. And it's very important for us, professionals from sanitation and environmental, to be connected with ABES, because ABES was founded in 1960, let me see, 66, and it's mean we have over 57 years, and we have over 10,000 professionals, and that's why this channel is very important for us. Also, this webinar is promoted with the partnership with a Humphrey Fellowship. Humphrey Fellowship is like exchange program between United States and over 163 countries around the world. And we are 6,450 Humphreys today. And we have over 46 years of this international program. This international program belongs to United States and has involved in many fields like environmental, natural resource policies, urban planning, health, social justice, and many kinds of international areas of studies and works. Also, these webinars are promoted by Zero Waste Society. Zero Waste Society is a movement against solid waste and against the trash in Brazil. Specifically in Goiás state, we have many projects, over 10 years of projects, and now we are implemented a big project. The name of this project is Global Eco-Alliance, Brazil and Turkmenistan for Zero Waste. It's a pilot project, and our objective is to mobilize organizations and citizens in order to promote zero waste, sustainable development, and also climate change strategies. First of all, I would like to introduce my colleagues. We are 5 Humphrey Fellows alumnus here, and I would like to introduce Luis Arthur, Rosane, and Liliane. Please turn on your cameras and microphones and say your name and your field of interest. You can start, Rosane.
Yes. Hello, everyone. I am Rosane Matoso, and I was Humphrey Fellow in 2023, 2024 at UCDavis, California. I am research director in Mancala Institute, one of the organizations that is part of Eco Global Alliance. And I'm very excited to be here and to discuss about the solid waste and some kind of issues that we share with Turkmenistan. So yeah, I hope you enjoy, stay with us, and can come for the other activities. Thank you.
Liliana, please.
Hello, everyone. So First of all, thanks so much for joining us in this project. And I would like to thank you, Diogenes, and thanks ARSLAN as well for the opportunity to participate. I would like to thank also my other colleagues in this project. And I'm Liliana Pimentel. I am a former Humphrey Fellow. I'm alumna from MIT on 2012-2013. I used to work as a public officer in the field of water, sanitation, STEM, and I also work with indigenous cause. And nowadays, researching more about the governance and public policy. So I would like also to thank the ABES Conecta and ABES Goiás, because we all know the importance to have their support for the zero waste cause. So thank you so much, and I hope we have a great night.
Thank you. Now, Luis, please.
Hello, everyone. Good night. My name is Luis Arthur Saraiva Filho, and I was Humphrey in 2019, 2020. And I was at American University, Washington College of Law. I applied in the human rights field, and my project focused on alternative dispute resolution. So it's a great pleasure to be here and to share this moment with you guys, my Humphrey colleagues. So next week, I will talk about the updates of COP30 in Belém City. That will happen the next year in 2025. And I'm a legal advisor at the Court of Justice of the state of Pará, where Belém is the capital. So I'm very excited to be here. Thank you, guys.
Thanks so much, my colleagues. And now I will pass the word to ARSLAN. First of all, I will introduce ARSLAN for you, ARSLAN GARRYYEV. He is mechanical engineer. He has a master's degree in oil and gas management. He is head of trade and investment, UK Department for Business and Trade. And also he is Hubert Humphrey alumnus from UCDavis, University of California in Davis, in the field of natural resources, environmental policies, and climate change. And he is today, he will be our presenter with the theme, Waste to Energy Solutions, Helping to Mitigate Waste Management Issues, a case from Turkmenistan. Please, ARSLAN, introduce yourself and be free to be here. Thank you so much to accept your invitation in this project. You are very special for us. From Brazil, it's a challenge to make a connection with a different culture, different country, and we are curious about Turkmenistan, about the city of Ashgabat, the buildings, the white buildings, and the people say, oh my God, where is Turkmenistan? How is the culture? Anyway, we are very excited to hear you, and okay, feel free to have your time. So you have a bunch of time, you can frame your presentation. So thanks so much, and take the position.
Thank you very much, Dio, and thank you very much, everyone who is joining us. It's very exciting to be part of this collaboration. And Dio, will you start my presentation, please?
Just a moment, I will take the presentation.
Thank you. Thank you. As you are doing the presentation, I'll probably say a few words. Yes, indeed. Thanks to all Humphrey Fellows who are with us and who are probably watching us. It's so exciting to be presenting today about the waste collaboration. So hope for all. Yeah, the present. Yes, please.
Sorry. Let me ask you, would you like to present by yourself? I think
yes, 1 second.
I think it would be better because you can control the transition of slides.
Sure, sure. 1 second. I will share my screen now.
I will turn off my microphone and also my...
I hope you can see now my presentation.
Yes, it's very...
Oh,
yes, yes.
so, well, thanks to all again to join us today, this evening. Those from Brazil and those from other parts of the world and those from Turkmenistan. My name is ARSLAN. I am a Humphrey alumnus from University of California, Davis. We just came back, and yes, this is a wonderful project that we are collaborating, bridging in the experience of Brazil and Turkmenistan in the field of waste management. And I'm here today to share my experience in terms of converting waste to energy solutions. And so we will be talking about my experience in this field. And I would like to thank all the sponsors who are helping this video, who are helping this presentation to broadcast, who sponsored this event. So thanks goes to all. Let me start about the summary of this presentation. So we will share the concept of the waste recycling and specifically waste tire recycling and monetization project in Turkmenistan, the country where I'm from. I propose a pilot waste tire pyrolysis project for Brazil, hopefully. So yeah, a little bit about myself. How did I come here? So I'm from Turkmenistan, and I am an energy professional with engineering background. And currently I have an international trade role. So I represent the British business in Turkmenistan. In 2014, I've done my master's in energy management in the UK. And just this year, we graduated from the University of Goiânia, Davis, in the field of natural resources and environmental management. And I like to work in the area of sustainability. And I think this is a wonderful project to be working together with DIO and with other Humphrey Fellows in terms of bridging the experience from different countries and find ways to collaborate. So I'm so excited. And by the way, this is me graduating this year. So a little bit about my country. As you can see from the map, it's the opposite direction, I think, from where Brazil is geographically. So we are on the other side of the world, in Central Asia. And as you can see, our neighboring countries are Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Afghanistan, Iran, and Russia. So yeah, and then the country is probably maybe like one province of Brazil. We have only 6 million population, a tiny country. We speak Turkmen language. That's why you come Turkmenistan. The country is neutral. You probably don't hear much about Turkmenistan because it's not part of any blogs or part of any organizations. And our main economy comes from oil and gas, agriculture, and textiles. As you can see, there are some pictures. Yeah, the country is 80% is made of desert. Sometimes it's very hot here. Yeah, we have a very rich culture. We have beautiful horses, and we have lovely people. So that's about the country, and I think I'll move forward to the content of this presentation. And please, if you have any questions, I think you can leave questions in the chat, or you can just raise your hand and ask your question. So, this presentation today will be about tire waste and also plastic waste, which is a huge problem in today's society. And I think we'll have one solution on how to tackle this waste and how to monetize it. We will look into tire composition. We will see how pyrolysis can it do with the tire waste, and we will also look at the economics and cost breakdown of this project. And we'll probably share also some way forward for the project and conclude this presentation. So, the brief introduction about the project. As you can see from the pictures, you probably saw this phenomenon around you as well, but there are about 1 billion waste tires generated every year in the world. And less than 10% of those tires are used for playgrounds and asphalt applications when making roads. And the rest of those tires are being landfilled. They are buried, and they usually lead to medical issues, mosquitoes, the fire, and other environmental hazards. And as you can see in the picture, this is a fire which was originated from the tire issue. And if we look at what can be done with these tires, well, you probably know that tires are also made from oil products. And if you decompose a tire, you can find that 40% is oil, and another 40% is carbon black. A very tiny portion is steel, which is like a metallic component, and the rest is a lighter components like synthetic gas, which can be used to burn. And you can see the pictures of these components. If we go further and ask ourselves a question, how we can get these products out of a waste tire? So instead of bringing it to the landfill, can we make these products, can we take these products out of a tire? And apparently, yes. There is a process called pyrolysis. And sorry for the bad picture, probably. I couldn't find a better one which explains it. But basically, it shows you how a pilot project for pyrolysis, which can process 10 tons of waste tires per day, could actually produce 4 tons of oil, 4 tons of the carbon black, and carbon black is the black material which is used to make tires, and 1 ton of the steel. The steel is also the reinforcing material which is inside the tire. And so there will also be some gas which will be decomposed from the tire, and following the arrow here will go and burn, heat this process. And I want to note that this is not about burning tire, not about contacting tire directly with fire. No, think of it as a process where you heat it, or when you bake it, like when you do the cake or something. So there is no direct contact between tire and the fire. That's why the process is relatively environmentally friendly. Now, for the project in Turkmenistan, our required investment, so we decided to go for 10 tons of tires, waste tires per day. We found equipment, we met with manufacturers, the clients who installed this equipment at their sites, required $500,000 US to run this pilot project. And as you can see, our finding initially that the oil is sold for $250 per ton, with the same for carbon black and steel. And there is a little note there that at the time when we were planning this was our assumption. While now, when we actually do this, we are finding some higher prices, which was a nice surprise. But even though with these low prices, you can see that the payback period was calculated for 1.5 years. So we brought the investment, and then in 1.5 years, we could take back all the investment money. And you can see some profit projections for 5 years and for 10 years. So now the cost breakdown for our project was to get the equipment, to bring it to Turkmenistan, to install it, and then to use the utilities. And yeah, as you can see here, we are, one second. Can you see my screen now? I think I pressed something.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. One second, I have a glitch. I will just redo the... Okay, I hope you can see it now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, as you can see also, for the rental facility, we also had some costs. We eventually managed to buy a place where we didn't have to rent a facility. You can see the operating costs, OPEX, registration and permit fees, and as well as the transportation cost for waste tires to our site. So we agreed with the landfills. We also agreed with the car repair facilities to get their waste tires to us. Now, I think this project also, this year in April, when we met with our Humphrey Fellows, with DIOGENES as well, we were also thinking about applying this experience in Brazil. And for this reason, I think I'm so grateful to our sponsors again to help us to bridge this experience and to see if it is possible to do such a project in Brazil, where, of course, because of a much higher population, waste management issues are probably offer more opportunities to apply pyrolysis there. And so, as you can see, of course, I need to say something here that pyrolysis is ultimately not the solution, of course. It's not the ultimate solution. It is the solution in the transition time. Because historically, we have accumulated so much waste. We have created so many landfills, and pyrolysis offer a solution to clean up those landfills. And while cleaning up, also help make profit in order to restore those landfill areas. And that's why we were thinking how to make a pilot project in Brazil. And so here you can see a probable timeline of activities for the next 3 or 4 years, where eventually we plan to establish a long-term collaboration between universities of Brazil and Turkmenistan, companies of Brazil and Turkmenistan, hopefully, to work on this area. So I think when we talk about waste tires, we also need to mention the waste plastic. And one of the things we found in our project is that we can actually use the same equipment for waste plastic. And actually the qualities for the oil, for the products that we get when we use plastic for waste pyrolysis is actually better. So this pyrolysis oil, which is used from waste plastic, is actually used to generate power. So now we actually planning to buy our own power generator in order to use the pyrolysis oil. And also carbon black is used in cement plants to also use as a fuel. Now, conclusion here is that, as I was saying, of course, we need to reach the circular economy and as much as possible eliminate waste. We need to go to the root and avoid waste generation. That's our probably ultimate goal. In the meantime, all the landfills created, they can be cleaned up also using the pyrolysis technology. Of course, we are advocating circularity, recycling, and pyrolysis technology is one of the ways to use to reduce the accumulated waste tires and waste plastics because of the environmental issues that they pose. The profit made from sale of oil, sale of carbon black, and steel can be used to restore landfill areas, plant trees, and greenery. This process can be also applied to plastic waste material. And in terms of the monetization, there is a huge potential for carbon credits, which is another trendy topic these days. We are actually currently looking at how to generate carbon credits, get the certificates, and monetize them as well. And I think I want to thank again our, first of all, Humphrey fellows. I think they make change. I was so surprised to see Diogenes and his work in Brazil. So thank you very much to all the fellows and to the sponsors. And of course, for those who are watching us now, and I leave my contact details, but as you say in Brazilian, obrigado. And yeah, please, we can have questions. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Arslan. Good presentation. Congratulations. Very good.
Thank you.
Mainly for us from Brazil, it's very good to hear from someone that is very expert in this field. So, Arslan, as we're talking about before the webinar, we are implemented the two kind of networks here. One is a zero waste society. It's a movement that we have over 10 years of project. And of course, zero waste means to rethink, to refuse, to reduce, to reuse, and recycling after this previous prevention actions for waste. And my question is, how it's possible to combine pyrolysis with zero waste strategies, as the concept of zero waste is no burn, no land, no waste rejects, no waste materials, and even energy. In your opinion, how it's possible to combine this technology with your preventions actions in order to don't have waste?
That's a very good question, Diogenes. Thank you. I think I will give an example of our project. We did this project in Davis, California, this year, and we found that there is also an issue with an environmental issue whereby you cannot start a new project which involves burning of diesel or burning of gas. And so instead of using pyrolysis, the companies or the organizations who collect tires, they actually use trucks which burn diesel to transport these tires to another state, which use pyrolysis technology. So, and that's why we were trying to challenge this, because instead of transporting all this waste to another state so many miles and having the carbon dioxide emissions, it is actually better to deploy pyrolysis technology on the place, which is helping you to, first of all, reduce your landfill. And the emissions from the pyrolysis process are less than transporting tires or waste materials for long distances. And so using pyrolysis at the spot is actually an environmentally less environmental, actually transporting it with diesel trucks for long distances. So I think here, how can this then square with the zero waste strategies? I think we should work towards zero waste. We should work towards circularity and eliminating waste, of course. But all those historical accumulations of the waste in landfills, we need to find environmentally friendly solutions to reduce, to process the landfills. So I think pyrolysis here is a perfect option for us to consider that. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, you answered. So thank you so much. So Liliana, let us know if there is some question from YouTube's chat. I don't know if there is some participation or comment you can return to us.
Yes, thank you. So Delaine Romano, thank you so much, Delaine, who's following us. Delaine Romano, first of all, she say thank you to Arslan. And I am with my camera closed by purpose, so don't worry about that. It's just my voice. But she said pyrolysis tech can be used for textiles waste or just like for rubber or something like this. Can you tell a bit more about the pyrolysis technique?
Yeah, so Liliana, thank you. I didn't catch the name. Is it Deline? Deline, you said, I think. Thank you very much for the good question. Deline, yeah. So I think, yeah, so that was one of our questions also, because once we installed the pyrolysis unit here, we started to receive many requests to consider their waste as well. And textile was one of the requests. So so we didn't test it yet, but what we were told by the manufacturers and by the expert is if you have in your textile product, if you have any polyester or oil-related materials, then of course, definitely it is something to consider for pyrolysis. But I'm not sure whether pyrolysis for textile is the best way to recycle it. I heard some other projects about textile recycling, and I can share it later with the organizers, with Liliana, and we can probably share it with you, Deline. Thank you.
Thank you, ARSLAN. I have a question for you, but I am waiting to see if any of the audience has a question before, because we have time to talk about anyways. So since there is no more questions, can I make my question, Diogenes, to ARSLAN?
Sure, feel free.
Okay, so thank you so thank you so much. Amazing, Arslan. As you know, I have been working in the field of sanitation in Brazil for a bit, but I don't work exactly in the tech field like you. I just promote it. But my main concern, I'm not sure if you will be able to answer this, but it's just to contribute. My main concern relies on how the characteristics of the frameworks, laws, influence in the projects like yours. For example, we had an entrepreneur years ago here in Brazil who tried to make, not exactly pyrolysis, I think, but he tried to make some kind of project for tires recycling. And we have in Brazil some regulations where the factories are in charge to recover these tires, which before was just really wasted in nature. But now there is some regulations about this. And the project of this guy was to be placed in Minas Gerais. And finally, he couldn't go on because the cost to make the tires go to the plant for recycling was too costly, you know. So the distances in Brazil between the centers and the unit where you can effectively recycle was too long. And so the project was kind of financially not viable. So in your techniques or in your technology, could be possible to develop some like local centers, you know, and spread this in smaller units for recycling, things like this. I'm not sure if your research covers it. Thank you.
Liliana, I think that's a great question. And initially, that was one of our challenges because I was personally trying to find a solution for recycling. So I was dealing with recycling, and we didn't start with tires. We didn't start with plastic. Since I'm coming from the oil background, we had a lot of land which was contaminated with oil. And so we were trying to find a mobile solution which could help to clean the soil from oil. And so this is where, first of all, I heard about pyrolysis. This was several years ago. And so when we approached the companies, some big manufacturers, actually, yes, the cost was very high. But what we managed to do is to find a smaller versions, a portable versions, where you can actually, as you said, Liliana, you can avoid long distances for transportation. You can actually bring the smaller unit to the place where you have your waste. And then we found out also that, well, it can be applied for waste oil, can be applied for waste tires. And then here you go. When you have anything which has an oil element in it, which is made from oil, is actually possible to process through the pyrolysis. So I think here, to address your question, Liliana, I think here is it will save you a lot if you spend some time to select the right technology. I think that's what made our life easier. And so, yeah, and I'm happy to share what is the technology and yeah, how we did in our project.
Thank you very much. I'm not sure if Diogenes is going to jump, but I will send you another question if you have some more time to answer. So someone from the YouTube chat, Kathleen, just put the biggest comment, and maybe yeah, it looks more like a comment, but she says the biggest challenge in Brazil is the composition of our waste is too mixed, and finding a solution for this is the big issue here in our country, you know. So maybe you can address if the composition, because I know it in a globalized world, usually the composition of the tires are almost the same in every country, but it can be also different, you know. So she's talking about the composition be not so uniform for several of the materials that we could recycle.
Yeah, thank you, Liliana, and thank you, Caitlin, for a very good point. Yes. So it's like comparing apples to apples. If you want to have a good pyrolysis product, as Caitlin said, yes, you have to have as much as possible a unified or a consistent type of waste if you want to do a pyrolysis, a good pyrolysis. So for example, a big tire from, let's say, a truck or a large equipment, large vehicle is not the same with the standard cars that we are seeing in the streets. So yes, and when you mix those, of course, you will have, what will happen in the end, you will have not a very good product. Again, one of the details of pyrolysis that we found out. So for example, there was a case where we were mixing medical waste and some other plastic waste. And yes, in the end, you do not get a uniform product. It's still, you can still use it as an energy product, but it is not the best that you can do, actually. So here, I think waste sorting waste becomes really important. And I think one of the useful things that I found during my time in Davis, California this year is to visit some waste sorting facilities and to find out best practices, how they sort. So I think the gist of our project and today's presentation is hopefully to see how we can share our practices and how find a good solution for a very distant areas in Brazil to find out how we can actually help mitigate the waste management issues with pyrolysis. I hope it answers your comment, Caitlin.
Wow, I'm very glad to have so many questions and participation, and Liliana is very amazing with as a moderator too. So I think you have other question. Liliana can read the next one for us. I think I like so much your participation.
Sure, thank you. I love to help Diogenes sometimes more than I should. So I'm sorry if I jump in too much. So okay, yeah. Rosani, our friend, put here a comment for Karen's that I think could just add something to Arslan comment as well, but just for people who are following us to see. Rosani put that related to Karen's comments, how can we educate population to separate waste for tire and plastic collection and direct it for pyrolysis in this small center? Then I mentioned it in my comment if we could deliver, and Arslan put something like we can have mobile units, which for me sounds like an amazing solution for Brazil, right? So I think if you have any other comments over what Rosani also said, please go ahead.
Yeah, Rosani, thank you. And I think we were actually arguing this topic because this is a very serious question. We have so many people living in distant areas, and sometimes the question is how to educate them in sorting the waste, etc. And usually that education comes with some donor, with some funding money, etc. And I think my solution, humble solution to that, I think we should make those efforts. We should combine it with the funding. We should also include to make the projects economically attractive. So just to think, for example, if we can bring mobile solutions, mobile pyro remote communities, and educate them how to use that, I think the rest will come itself by default, because people will start to see that this solution actually not only clean up their waste, but it can also help them to make extra money for, again, to probably buy better waste management solutions, equipment to collect, etc. So I think, again, when the project is economical, I think the education part will follow, because people will support this this solution actually. So I hope, Rosani, this answers your question.
Do we still having some time, or we are over, Diogenes?
You have time. Enjoy.
No, because this thing that ARSLAN is presenting us is, I think it's super important for us in Brazil. And I am curious. I'm not sure again if you have this kind of data at all for now, but how much cost and how much like energy or these mobile units, you know, how much energy or how much they can, how is the processing capacity, those kind of datas could be really interesting for us here in Brazil, because the size of the country and the need that we have, and especially because our policies have led us to prioritize the use of vehicles like cars, trucks, and not like train, you know. So I think the amount of this kind of waste that we have may, I don't have this data, but might surpass the regular tire waste in a regular country, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. And that's why I think that it's good that we are having this kind of conversation. We are having this kind of collaboration initiatives. So hopefully, now in answering your question, Liliana, there are units where you can process 100 tons of waste, any type of waste, mostly any type of waste per day. And there are smaller units where you can actually use for 100 kilograms per day. So it depends basically on how much waste generation you have. For example, some smaller communities living remotely, maybe they will not produce so much waste. That's why they would probably need a unit for 100 kilograms per day. And so in that case, so in that case, I think it is good to see each situation individually and find the best solution for that place, and also see we can use the oil product out of the pyrolysis to help that community to prosper.
Thank you again.
You're welcome.
So I don't know, Liliana, if you have other questions, or there is other question from YouTube chat. I don't know.
No other questions in the chat, Diogenes.
That's good. That's okay. So I don't know if some Humphreys, another person, can say some things, can comment about, because I like so much the presentation. Of course, when we saw the solution from pyrolysis technology and the data that ARSLAN showed us, we are excited to have this kind of pilot project. And my question is, Arlen, do you know if there is a pyrolysis technology plant in your country, or which country for you, or which location is considered as a model for you in order to know about the operation and other experience that can share with us?
So, Dio, I think, yeah, so our project is the live project. The details that I was sharing is the pilot project that we started in Turkmenistan. But the thing is, we are now we applied for a bank loan to get a much bigger unit to process much larger quantities of waste. So, but initially when I was doing the research, I visited a client in Hungary, Eastern Europe to find out about their experience before buying the equipment. So I went to Hungary and to meet with the client. And so I think Eastern Europe and California. And in California now, for example, people like when I say California, sorry, wrong. It's Oregon, which is a bordering state to California, who
Yes.
are accumulating tires for 160 years in order to run their pyrolysis units. So yes, there are many countries are now considering to deploy this technology. This technology has developed massively in the last 10, 15 years. And so previously there were some uneconomical versions of that, but with the material improvement, with engineering improvement and other technical advancements, I think nowadays we have a really solid and reliable solutions for pyrolysis.
That's good. Here in Goiânia, we have close to here a cement plant that we have a cement kilns that use the tire waste in order to generate energy for the kilns. So I think mostly of the case in Brazil, the tire sorted goes to the cement kilns. It's just information that I share with you.
I think there is a lot of smoke. If they burn tires, there is a lot of smoke.
I think so.
Yeah. So yeah, because if you burn the tire directly, you have to have so to reduce the black smoke.
Mm-hmm.
But if you actually run it, because there is a direct contact between the fire and tire, but you use the pyrolysis where there is no contact, there is no burning, it's a baking process. That's why you avoid smoke, you avoid the emissions going out to the atmosphere. You basically can you basically the environmental impact.
I understand.
So yeah, so we can actually, when we see meeting with those authorities with the cement plant, we can actually discuss with them and probably propose them a better solution. Because when you avoid those smoke, those emissions, this is where you generate carbon quotes.
That's good. That's good. I think you can we can go to the final of your webinar. I'm very proud of your presentation about Liliana performance is very good, controlling the chat and this question and answer session. So anyway, I have to inform to all our audience that this is only the first webinar. We will have 2 more webinars. The second one will be next Tuesday in the same time from Brazil and Turkmenistan. And we will share some experience about zero waste project in Goiânia City and also some updates about COP30 in Belém City from our friend Luis Arthur. The next one will be the webinar 3 on September 10th with Liliana Pimentel that will talking about some environmental national issues like sanitation framework in Brazil and some things about climate change and other issues. And Rosany will also share some experience in social justice and social and environmental projects that Instituto Mancala promote in Salvador and other places too. So after this webinar series of 3 webinars we will have in Goiânia City on September 17th, the 2024 symposium, our first symposium about the Global Eco Alliance with the theme Brazil and Turkmenistan for Zero Waste project. So our project is a short-term project. We have just 3 months in order to mobilize many kind of organization. And in this moment, we are looking for volunteers and partners in order to promote this symposium on September 17th. And also on September 18th, we will have a few trips around Goiânia and Goiânia regional metropolitan region. We will visit the landfills, the recycling facility, and also a one tire waste sorting facility in Anápolis City. And 19th and 20th, we will go to the Brasilia capital. And Brasilia will probably meet some ministries or some organization that Liliana is setting up for us. Anyway, if you wanted to show more, if you wanted to know more information about our project, you can access our Instagram in Portuguese, Sociedade Resíduo Zero. You can access and see our actions and can be part of your team. Thanks so much for joining us today at night. We know everyone in Brazil, we are on the free time, so many people are tired after the job, but we are enjoying so much this time together. And please, Liliana, Rosany, and Luis, if you can turn on your camera and say hello. I think you say hello, no, say goodbye for all of audience. I think you can finish our session.
I just want to say thank you, ARSLAN, for sharing with us this kind of very interesting technology and solution. I love the fact that you share about the mobile technology, so we can bring it for remote community, and we are very excited about that. Thank you, and see you soon, the next webinar.
Hi, Luis. Luis is with your child. Maybe you
Yeah,
can...
sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. Just because she was
sorry.
crying and I had to help. And then she's very close to me this time. She's only 9 months, so sorry. And
You like sustainability.
Congratulations. Your explaining was amazing. And I was delighted with your words, and everything that you said is related to climate change. And so it's very nice to hear you. And so congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
I would like to thank everybody again, and sorry for talking too much. And I can't wait for the next one next week. So I hope to see you out here.
So thanks so much, Arslan. Would you like to say some final words?
Yeah, I think, thank you very much for your attention. I think it was a great opportunity to present about the experience. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the other sessions. Thank you. Liliana, great moderation, and Dio, thank you for the session as well. Thanks all.
Thank you all, Humphreys. Thank you, ABES Connecta. Thank you, ABES National Directory, and also the section from Goiás State. I would like to thank our partners of execution, CCBU in Goiânia, Instituto Mancala in Salvador, Instituto Green Labor of Environmental and Entrepreneurship Consultancy, Thanks so much for Beija-Flor. It's a kind of cooperative of collectors, recyclable collectors in Goiânia. And thank you, US Diplomacy in Brasilia, and also our sponsors, Institute of International Education, Humphrey Fellowship, US Department of State. And thanks so much for all of you that stayed here with us this night. And see you in the next week for the webinar 2. Bye-bye. God bless you all of you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.